who's the next force that's the enemy of the Jews? Really the enemies is what I've been saying for years, is the Rashi Esav. Esav is terrible to the Jewish people. And in America, you know, and I've been saying this for years, the enemy of the Jewish people, the Rashi Esav, is the Democratic Party, you see. Now what is amazing is they're about to collapse. The Democratic Party has been devastated by Donald Trump, which is incredible. So you begin to think, wait a minute, who has protected the Jews from the enemy of the Jewish people? The Democratic Party. You see, who? Well, it's interesting when you think about it. The Hebrew date of the inauguration of Donald Trump, which is January 20th, right? January 20th, 2025, is Chof Teves, the 20th day of Teves. That is the Yortzeit of Rabbi Yaakov Avuchatzera. And we know he died on that day, right? Just like Rachel Imenu. She died on the date that had to be there so the Jews could pray her kever and stop, all right, the exile, the Babylonian exile. Could you imagine? The Democratic Party is about to die on the date of January, right, 20th, which is Chof Teves. That's the Yortzeit of Rabbi Yaakov Avuchatzera. You see? So imagine Rabbi Yaakov Avuchatzera has to die on January 20th now, but then was Chof Teves, right, in 1883. So on that inauguration day, right, who will die? That's the end of Obama. You don't realize. It's the end of his power. Him, Biden, Harris, Schumer, all of these people are terrible. Either the Rashi Esav, right, or the terrible, not just the Rashi Esav, you know, but the Erev Rav, Schumer is Erev Rav, and so on, you know, on his Yortzeit. There he is again. Rabbi Yaakov Avuchatzera is the inauguration day of the demise, basically, of the Democratic Party. Because what's going to happen is Trump is going to do things which are incredible, which American history has never seen before. He's going to revamp America. And that is the day that the Democratic Party will, in many ways, not disappear, but they will be eviscerated, denuded, whatever term you wanted to use, you know, and so on, made impotent, and so on, with Donald Trump. And we all know that. And amazingly so, again it happens on the date that he had to die, which is Chof Teves, Rabbi Yaakov Avuchatzera, to save the Jewish people. So just like he had to die on that date to make sure that he was available for Jews from Israel to pray at his kever, so he would be east of El Alamein. That date is also the date that Trump would come in and eviscerate the Democratic Party. And we see what's going to happen and so on, you know. And that's the purpose, really, of my telling you this story and so on. So it's obviously a fascinating story. It shows you, you know, that there are things that go on that we have no idea of what's really happening. It is the mysteries of the cosmos. It is the mysteries of God's plan of how he saves the world. And it's so subtle. You know, I mean, it's dates. I mean, how many people realize, you know, that the inauguration day of Donald Trump, and therefore the demise in many ways of the Democratic Party, is on the very Yortzeit of the person that saved the Jews in the Holocaust. I mean, we're talking here about what? We're talking about the Shurish, the root soul of Mashiach ben Yosef. How many people realize that? Yet it's something which happens suddenly, very cautiously, very subtly. I was able to recognize it. Why? Because of my involvement autobiographically in 1995. And even that is an unbelievable mystery. And the miracles that happened to me in order for me to be able to get to Daman Hor, and I'll never forget that experience, you know, to go into the lion's mouth, out to the den, like Daniel, and to sit with the lions, right, and walk out, you know, untouched and so on, you know. So it's something to realize, very important. We are close to the end. This is not normal, you know. I hope that you appreciate, you know, the unbelievable subtlety of how the Rebbe Hashem runs the world. And it's only later on that we will realize what the Rebbe Hashem has done for us to save us, and so on. So hopefully and I will talk about this in whatever, the next year, about the significance of what's happening now with Donald Trump and so on, you know, because there are miracles happening that are miraculous, that nobody seems to realize, you know, nobody understands, you know, that the Rebbe Hashem basically saved the America. They don't even understand how and why and so on. In any case, I thought you would enjoy this story, mystical story of how the Jews were saved in the Holocaust by the individual who himself really is a shirish of the Mashiach ben Yosef. And I hope you enjoy the story of his grandfather, Elbaz, Shmuel Elbaz, with the magic harp and so on. Thank you.